making people laugh. It's a great thing.
It's an amazing blessing from God. It really is.
Which reminds me, speaking of God, you say in the book that you wouldn't go out with a woman. I guess a woman should not go out with a man who doesn't believe in God.
No, I mean, why would you?
Well, do you believe that only people who are religious are ethical and moral?
No, I just believe if you don't believe in God, then where's your moral barometer? That's just me talking.
I
You can
understand
believe what you want to believe, but if you're an atheist, you're basing your goodness and morality on what? I mean, but what is an atheist? I don't really get into that. You know, I've talked to people all the time. I'm an atheist. I just walk away. I don't know what to say to you. You know,
well, an atheist is someone who doesn't quite believe that there is somebody out there, some God out there.
Well, then to me, you're an idiot.
Okay, well...
So I'm cool with that. I'm just probably not the right politically correct thing to say. But if you don't believe in God, I mean, really, you got to have an explanation for this. You just can't tell me this spun out of a gastrous ball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, then we were evolved from monkeys. Why we still got monkeys? It's too much open here. I just believe that. And if you don't believe that, then I don't like talking to you.
I say, okay, listen, it's fine with you.
Can you say it on Larry King?
You can say it on any show. Because it's a free country.
It is.
Harvey, we never evolved from chimpanzees, we never evolved from orangutans, we never evolved from gorillas. Gorillas and chimpanzees and orangutans evolved from a common ancestor which they share with us.
After the publication of The Origin, these arguments were over. Nearly all reputable biologists and those who were left disputing the fact of evolution, the historical fact of evolution, were increasingly isolated. Nearly all reputable biologists, by about 1873 or so, were convinced that evolution was a fact, whatever the mechanism that had made it occur may have been. I believe that to require students or to ask students to assess the weaknesses and the arguments for and against universal common descent is seriously to mislead them over the depth, the breadth, and the length of the historical consensus that has prevailed since the 1870s as to the fact of evolution.
Being nosy. Then the third question, you need to get into some personal stuff. What's his relationship with his mom? How does he feel about children? Does he have a relationship with God? You sitting up here talking to a dude and he tells you he's an atheist, you need to pack it up and go home. You know, you're talking to a person who don't believe in God, what's his moral barometer? Where is it at? It's nowhere. You got to get into this stuff. After you find out all of this, you get a nice little feel for the guy, you go out.
I mean, anyone in this tent could improve this supposedly inerrant text scientifically, historically, ethically, spiritually, in a matter of moments. I mean, consider the possibility of improving the Ten Commandments. And this may seem to be setting the bar kind of high because this is the only part of the Bible, the only text that God felt the need to physically write himself and in stone. Consider the Second Commandment. Thou shalt not erect any graven images. Is this really the second most important thing upon which to admonish all future generations of human beings? I mean, is this as good as it gets ethically and spiritually? The truth is that almost any precept we would put in place of the Second Commandment would improve the wisdom of the Bible. How about don't mistreat children? How about don't pretend to know things you do not know? I mean, the fact that certain ideas are useful or motivating or give people meaning in their lives, I mean, the fact that the idea that God has a plan for me or everything happens for a reason, the fact that such ideas are consoling does not offer the slightest reason to believe that they are true. And in fact, ironically, even if we had good scientific reasons to believe that these ideas were true, their power to console us wouldn't even offer an additional reason to believe that they're true. I mean, even if the cosmologists and the physicists came forward suddenly and said, you know, sorry for the misunderstanding, guys, but it seems there is a God and he has a plan for you. The fact that so many of us would find this consoling would give us further reason to be skeptical in scientific terms. This is why we have phrases like wishful thinking and self-delusion and self-deception. This is why scientists do double-blind controlled studies wherever possible. This is why they submit their data for peer review. If we have conquered any ground in our career of rationality, it is on this point. There is a profound difference between having good reasons for believing something and simply wanting to believe it.